The Great Teaching Matters framework communicates our vision, goals, and commitment to all students, and is how we are locally defining great teaching in MMSD. At the center of great teaching are 6 culturally and linguistically responsive practices that support our continual strive for equity and excellence.
So, and that's another thing I like to do too, is kind of mention what I know about the students as individuals. Like, for example, we were talking about the vocabulary word to specialize today, and I mentioned how Brian specializes in soccer because he's an excellent soccer player. And I just feel like kids like Brian, especially, who don't excel academically, really need that validation. So it's important for me to know have a culturally responsive classroom doesn't just mean talking about Cinco de Mayo, but it means knowing who they are and what they value in their home lives, what interests they have, what they're good at. It's about so much more than just the language, you know. All right, friends. One last question. Turn this way. Remember our cognates. So animals adapt and survive all have cognates. Are all cognates, meaning that there are words in Spanish that sound an awful lot like this and mean the same. Turn and tell your partner, what are the 3 cognates that you know for animals adapt and survive?
This is the title page. Okay. I want you to turn and talk to the person next to you about what you see on the title page and what it makes you think about, what you connect to, what you already know about the facts that are shown on the title page. Same, make it obvious to me who you're talking to by blowing it up. Turn and talk, go.
Okay, so I have a picture of
She is a people person, and fairly early in the year she kind of figured out who was really comfortable with French and who felt shy with their French, and so each person would receive a different strategy for each person to bring out the French in them. So I mean, I think that it's a really important strategy because they say they want to teach it to every student. A ton of people in the same classroom are at different levels and different things, and I think that Madame Clark does a good job of finding where that kid personally wants to improve and really working with them, and she makes herself available all the time to work with.
So, learning about different cultures makes me feel more belonged to the world, I guess, and I can relate to more people, and knowing different cultures and knowing that we have similarities even though our cultures are different, it just makes me realize that I'm not alone.
I think their ability to connect with students of any background and be able to express themselves personally and not be afraid to put themselves out there is a really good quality that a teacher should have.
It'll be really important if they could relate to me on a cultural, note, because that'll show me that they really, in somewhat sense, care about who I really am.
Just learning about different cultures and languages will not only increase your knowledge, but it'll make you judge others less and improve you as a person as well.
It's who we are. We're home. We should know our language and how to read and write and stuff. And I feel like me knowing it helps my parents too, so I can translate for them and I want to pass it on to my kids and stuff. Like, I don't want them to not know who they are and stuff, so yeah.
I feel like I've been teaching now for 20 years, and half of that time I taught without really having an eye on culturally responsive practices and not really understanding the importance of it. And then I kind of learned more about that after having come to Madison. And initially I thought, well, that doesn't really seem important. That's really not anything to do with standards or tests or student achievement, really, you know. But then I took a class, a culturally responsive classroom class. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was something like that. And it really opened my eyes to how important it is to make students feel that sense of belonging. It's the difference between them succeeding and failing, especially for kids who are marginal. So it really kind of revolutionized the way I teach, and I'm a firm believer that without tapping into what's important to students, you're not really accessing everything that they have to offer the class.
You have to have authentic collaboration with kids, and they have to actually be able to trust each other and take risks. And if you don't have that, it doesn't work. So in general, in these groups, they have to work together to accomplish this goal. It just doesn't work any other way. And they have to talk it through, and they have to practice it. And so they have to do those things. And there's times when kids need extra support from one of us to help them. But I mean, again, with a little bit of a template or a starter, a lot of times they're more comfortable joining the groups and sharing ideas and then getting feedback and going that way.